Okay, I want to walk you through my student teacher binder. Also, I just realized I should have put MS, but whatever. Because I just finished it and I'm very proud of it. I am definitely over prepared for my student teacher, but that's the way I personally like to be. I like to know more than I need to. So hopefully she appreciates it. I'll show as much as I can, but this first page, when you open it up, is our emergency procedures, phone numbers to call to get to the office and the principals, fire drill, lockdown, all of those things. This is our staff list that is made for us at the beginning of the year, and it has everyone's name, their job, and what their school phone number is to contact them, things to know. So I talked about how she'll get into the building, dress code, the school day hours, and that I have, a refrigerator and a coffee machine in my classroom, and she's welcome to use any of those. Also that we eat in my office with my team, and that's kind of like our planning, venting time. Then I talked about her physical health and mental health, that she will probably get sick because she hasn't been teaching elementary full time and they are germy, and that if there's any issues, mental health type stuff, to let me know so we can work through it together, because I know it's like a very overwhelming process. I talked about her personal safety, just that we do have some students with severe discipline issues and things that we have in place to keep our teachers safe. And then I also talked about the neighborhood, because the neighborhood historically is not a very safe neighborhood. So just some tips like locking her car door and just being aware of her surroundings. Then I talked about dismissal duty, which will be her job in the afternoons. I stand at the exit door, but she will probably take buses. I talked about announcements, which is my job. I'm not going to make her take over that. So I said during those 2 extra bells that I have to make announcements, we can figure out what she wants to do during that. About our itinerant strings teacher that comes on Friday, I'm giving her a choice of if she wants to go assist the strings teacher on Fridays or if she wants to teach my class. And that I have my class pet named Billy. He will be back once he is recovered from his surgery, so he is still on meds and recovering. I talked about behavior management in my classroom and school-wide, like what we use for positive reinforcement, what we use for negative consequences, that I am a warm demander teaching style and that I prioritize relationship over content. That's very obvious if you watch me teach. I have a lot of clear boundaries, but I allow for more flexibility in my room than most. My students respond very well to positive reinforcement, such as, I love how so-and-so is sitting crisscross applesauce. And then inevitably you see a bunch of other kids shift to whatever I was positively reinforcing. Many will shut down when given negative reinforcement due to trauma, but boundaries do need to be set and followed through with. If you say you're going to contact their parents, then you have to do it or they will not believe you in the future. Talked about talking points, which is my main communication with the parents. She will not have her own login, but she can, go through my account to send messages to the parents from her or from me, it doesn't matter. And then our messenger is our weekly newsletter from our principal. We get it every Sunday. We're supposed to read it before we come to school, and it is super helpful with things to expect for the week. I talked about how I am CPI trained, and a lot of staff members at our building are CPI trained, so we are able to physically handle students if there is crisis intervention needed. We do have violent behaviors, although rare, and we do have emergency buttons in the room for that. And then I talked about our autism unit. It's really hard to prepare anyone to teach this class. I said it contains 6 students who are level 3-4 on the spectrum. We will push into their classroom twice a week. Actually, they now come to me, so that's kind of changed. And they will also come in small groups to kindergarten. These students require a much different, more flexible approach, with our learning goal to be that they will experience music. It's hard to prepare anyone to teach in this environment, but you'll have opportunities to observe, and I want you to feel comfortable before I expect you to lead anything. And also, lead is very subjective. And like I said, we are experienced in music. Student devices, students never are allowed to have cell phones. All students have one-on-one tech, but they don't bring them to music. They can if she wants them to, which I doubt. Talked to her about ELL students, that we have a huge growing population of Hispanic students, and gave her some tips on like learning maybe some Spanish phrases for teachers, which will help her out. Learning names being the priority. The quicker you can learn student names, especially students with behavior needs or special ed students, the easier your job will be, because we see 550 plus students a week. It's unlikely she'll learn them all, but I have seating charts for every single class. Reminded her that she's a mandated reporter, so if she ever suspects that there's any abuse, to talk to me so that we can come with a plan. Sometimes the psychologist takes over this, sometimes the social worker takes over this, sometimes they have me make the call myself, so it kind of just depends on the situation and prior history of the student. And then I talked about how we use Schoology and Clever and PowerSchool, and then we're getting Focus and Canvas. So I'm happy to go through all of these technology websites with her in case she wants to, know how to navigate them, in case she has to use them for her first teaching job. If she's interested, I'm happy to talk to the psychologist, the social worker, the gen ed teachers, admin, my team, to be observed, do mock interviews, etc., anything that she wants. I know when I was student teaching, okay, it's time for dismissal, so I'll have to finish this up after, but I talked to the school psych and I observed a general ed class, and those were both really eye-opening for understanding like how the students behaved in other environments and also everything that the psychologists deal with. And it was traumatizing, honestly, talking to her, but very eye-opening, and it helped me know that I never wanted to go into that field. All right, back to it. So anyways, I got to do that when I was student teaching, and it was really helpful. My next section is my schedule, and she's lucky because we don't have any more days off other than the full week of spring break, so we will not change our rotation for the rest of the year. So she will actually see these kids Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it won't change, whereas usually every time we have a day off, it changes. Also, just realized how long this makes my fingers look because I'm using fisheye lens. I promise they're not that long. And this is what I was talking about with the ABCDE rotation. Like I said, it stays the same, but just in case she's curious about it. And then this is like our school's master schedule with lunch times and stuff. And then here is a calendar. So yellow stuff is optional, pink stuff is just for fun, green stuff might interrupt class when she's planning, and this color is required. It's not a lot of stuff. Fun, in March, we have a literacy night. My students are participating in an honor choir, and we have a curriculum council meeting with the entire district. And then just for fun, we have a staff bonding after school on the 22nd. Might interrupt class. We have an attendance dance, a second grade field trip, and a staff student basketball game during kindergarten that day. So I put that all in there so that she can be included in everything that she wants to be included on. And then I can show you the top because these are the teachers, but I put together a page with pictures of all the students in my autism unit and labeled them, and the 3 teachers, this is their classroom teacher and their paras, so that she can recognize them really quickly, because those are students you really need to be talking to by name like immediately for, safety reasons, for every reason really. But yeah, hopefully that helps her identify. 3 of them are here, 3 of them are here. The pictures are so cute, but obviously can't share. Wish I could. For every single class, I have a seating chart followed by a written list chart. I can't show you any of that because it's all student names, and on the list chart there's a note for if they are in foster care, homeless, have a LEP, IEP, 504 plan, or there's a couple like severe allergies, seizures. All of that stuff is labeled in their lists. But this is definitely the biggest chunk of the binder, because I see so many classes, it's the whole school. Then I have her lesson planning parts. This is her teaching timeline. I haven't filled anything out because, she gets to make the plans. So I just printed a bunch of different kind of planning pages because I don't know what she prefers. And then I put some things to know, some planning things, some stuff about our recognition celebrations, the graduation things, because she's going to have to help the kindergarten and 6th grade prepare a song for it. Then I gave her my content planning ideas, although she can do whatever she wants. These are just some places to kind of start. We have not done recorders yet. We have not done ORF bars like xylophones and stuff. We have not done that a lot, just a little bit. AAPI month is in May, so that could be fun. I do a popular line dances lesson sometimes. I haven't done that. We haven't done much with Beat Buddies. And then I gave her my login for my Quaver account. Then I gave her a list of my inventory. They made us do this year, and I was really annoyed when we had to, but now I'm glad because I have this for her, so she knows all the instruments and giant materials that are in my room. It doesn't list the smaller materials, but yeah, that's all the stuff we have. And then I mentioned I have different type of planning pages, so I have this one that she could use, like an overview, learning targets, and then a weekly overview she could do for each grade. This would be like week 1, week 2. So what's your opening activity, activity 1, 2, 3, and your closing, because you need to have this much going on each bell. And she'd probably do grade band planning. That's what I do, and that's what I wrote in the notes that she can do. It makes it a lot easier. Some places for lesson reflection, so where she can write down how she felt about a lesson. I mean, when is there time to do that? I don't know, but it's nice to include. And then some observation notes for when she's observing me that week so she can write down things she sees and we can discuss it. Then I have a behavior support section. This is our school-wide discipline form. This is for serious discipline actions, but I wanted her to see what it looks like so that she knows what we're talking about when we mention it, or if she has to use it. Unfortunately, she probably will at some point. And then any behavior communication, or I guess positive, but I mean, I don't really need a record of that. It's more a record of negative communication. And then I included our staff handbook, which we get at the beginning of the year. It has basically everything that I included and more, so she can see, what we're given at the beginning of the year. But that's it, and I am so excited. I love how this turned out. Thank you to people who gave me ideas. Thank you to people on Teachers Pay Teachers who created some of these templates. Love you guys, because I'm not that creative, and hopefully she likes it.